Hear that? So I have to run the fan in order to use the bathroom. My back is killing me from laying here being burnt, this pad. I woke up at 6, but because I'm so exhausted, I try to lay here a little bit longer because they were making noise at 6. And the man next door makes sure, whatever he is, makes sure that he knows that I'm awake. He'll stand in front of my door and cough. Imagine waking that up every morning up to that. So I laid here a little bit longer. I can't move, of course. My ankles are all swollen. My back, I feel like my ovaries are being burned out of my stomach. You know, my hair is falling out. But I'd like to talk about doctors today because it seems they think all this is funny. I worked at ACP over here. Miss Linda Lambert. Guess what? Her husband, yes, police officer. Yup, there you go. And my cousin's fuck buddy works there. Yes, Karen, I'd like to know who the fuck you think you are. I can remember Mike Mulick's wedding. It was the wedding of the century years ago. My grandmother usually, people didn't make her, nobody made her nervous. It was all nervous to go to this wedding. It was like a debutante ball, his coming out party. Oh, it was the highlight of the century. I, of course, wasn't invited. I know now how I was treated. From the very start, I never knew why. I was a little girl. I went to their house. I'll tell that story another time. I'd like to talk about these doctors that thought this was funny. In this doctor's office, it was American College of Physicians. Oh, yes. One of their cousins is a doctor, Cheryl Sparks. So I have to live like this while these people continue this, okay? So I came all the way down here to work for these doctors. And people knew in the office because I called Karen recently and she hung up on me, didn't you, Karen? We would talk about my great aunt and ask about the family and we should get together. And Karen, you know what Karen spent her time doing? Perusing online dating apps. Yes, yes. When she wasn't sitting up in the trailer parks in my backyard of my lake house. Yup, this is this Karen. Right, Karen? Yes, I don't know how many women he's had since, you know, and then there was Karen. Yes, so you can be married, divorced, have a bunch of fuck buddies. She was fucking around. She had kids by different people. So it's one big fucking orgy. And then I have other women in the organization stalking me. Yes, this Mary Donnelly. It was horrible. I had an accident too, but that's another story. Constant bullying and abuse, sexual harassment, innuendos about my marriage, about me, about my sister-in-law. Because when I was there, my sister-in-law, oh yes, she was stalked and pretty much, I would say murdered. That might be a little extreme to some people, but I'm feeling a little extreme when I'm being burnt every morning. And all these people were aware of it, and they're aware of it now. Yes, they're aware of it now, that my marriage was actually set up to do this to me. Is that what we're talking about now? Because Tara, she was going to go to New York City and she was going to work to help human trafficking victims and sex trafficking victims. Isn't that right, Tara? And everybody in the office kind of knew more than they should have known, because I would often wonder, well, what is going on here that people would say things or make innuendos or cause trouble for me? My purse was stolen. They didn't give a shit. Over at Rules here on Central Avenue, they racked up a $2,000 bill and nobody gave a shit in the office. And there were various, things that were happening to me there that just didn't make sense. It just didn't fucking make sense. And you know what? Now it does. So here we have all these doctors and hospitalists that were involved there, certainly with St. Mary's up home, because St. Mary's repeatedly threw me out of the one time in the winter, I had to stand in the parking lot and change because they keep up making up these things about my mental health. We know I don't have mental health issues. We know I don't have schizophrenia. We know I don't have an adjustment order. We know I'm not a prostitute. We know that filthy people have been doing filthy things for a long time and they need to stop. So now we need to talk about some of the doctors in the area, because you know me, I'm an equal opportunity employer. I have been talking about the police officers quite a bit, and I think we need to redirect with these social workers that are disgusting, these people that work in the hospitals that are disgusting. My niece is a doctor, Michelle Schultz is a doctor, Cheryl Sparks is a doctor. Oh, all these doctors. My mother-in-law was a doctor. Oh, yes. To hear her tell it, she was a doctor too. So we have all these doctors, all these people, and I have to get up every morning and be treated like this, and I can't be in my home and pursue my career and do the things that I need to do for myself. So we will continue to talk how it's systemic. Yes. We can't keep a police chief here. We have an interim police chief because it's systemic, he tells us. And I would agree, Mr. New interim police chief. It is systemic because we have doctors involved in this, and we'll have to continue to talk about the doctors today, because Karen took her filthy ass all the way back and forth up to that filthy trailer park with my cousin, Mike Mulick, and had a good old time drinking. And she actually would come out and say it. Oh, all they do is get drunk. So they were sitting over there getting drunk and trafficking me, his own relative, family member, while he's some big financial planner. And I took the bus the other day home, tried to get a cab, and they started trouble. And they're right in Scotia there, Hughes Real-estate. Well, maybe Hughes Real-estate can, after they stole my grandmother's land and now they stole my land, can help me get a place to live. Is that right, Mr. Mulick? And then, of course, there's Lisa over here with all the teachers, and we can go on about them. But today, we'll talk about the doctors, because it feels like my whole entire body is being burnt. Have a nice day, guys. Be safe, because this is what's going on. It's systemic.